All right, so before we begin our work, we are going to add another basic skill to our list this week. So let's just go ahead and check it out and see what it is. This is the only lesson where I'm going to talk about it, which means that what you'll need to make sure you do is ask about it on any other days you have issues, or just come back to this video to watch it. Find the distance between 50 and 96. The distance between two values can be found by subtracting them from one another. So again, if you want to know the distance between where two numbers are, simply subtract them. So if you want the distance between 50 and 96, you simply do 96 minus 15 and get the answer of 81. That's all. To find the distance between 45 and 138, you simply do 138 minus 45 and you get 93. And that is all. My best suggestion is that you start with the larger value, but as long as you ignore the negative, you'll be fine. So if you were asked to find the distance between 121 and 16, if you did 16 minus 121, your calculator would say negative 105, but we don't care about the negative. What we're actually going to do is just take the 105. So there are times in mathematics where you ignore the negatives. I don't know if you've ever seen me do that on the calculator, but you'll learn that sometimes the negative is not really important and that you just need the number itself. Now, that's not whenever you're solving like we did in the last few chapters, actually solving or evaluating like we did in the last few chapters. But in terms of distance, what is a negative 5 miles? What is a negative 6 feet? They really don't exist. So in that case, you usually ignore the negative and just kind of go with the number that's there. But welcome to chapter 3. This unit just focuses our ability to translate words and expressions and equations. Words into expressions and equations. Pretty much an algebraic expression is made up of numbers, operations of at least one variable. The following are expressions. So you have 5x plus 3. It's an expression because there's an x right there. There's also multiplication. There's also addition. 3x is an expression because it's 3 times x. There's your operation. There's your variable. 6 over x, which is an expression also because you have 6 divided by x, there's your variable. So again, there's a variable in it and there's some sort of operation going on, so we call it an algebraic expression. That phrase is not really the most important part, but you just need to make sure you understand. The key thing you need to remember is the difference between expressions and equations, which we'll talk about next week. But the key thing here is expressions typically don't have an equal sign, which equations, EQUA, like equal, do have an equal sign, but you will not use an equal sign this week, so do not even think about it. Please don't use it. Make sure you understand, again, these are expressions which don't have equal signs. There are 2 keys to successes in this week's material. First off, make sure you learn the vocabulary words. I'd say write them down. So if you're asking for help today and you don't have the vocabulary words written down, and it's not a lot, then I really can't help you. And then pay attention to the order of the parts. That's very important because especially when I'm trying to make sure that we get things done the right way, if you have things out of order, you are going to get marked wrong, but it's not really hard either way as long as you're following along what's going on. So today's work has 6 vocabulary words that must be memorized for success. Again, copy them down for later. Addition words are sum, plus, and more than. And when you write more than, put a little star by it because there's something special about more than. Your subtraction words are difference, minus, and less than. Again, when you write less than, put a little star by it because there's something special about that word. So the key idea here, excuse me for a second. The key idea here is that I remember distance as difference. So what we just did was distance between 2 numbers, but we subtracted to find the distance, which means that if you think about the word that distance sounds most like out of this list, it's difference. So distance and difference to me are related. So whenever I see difference, I remember to subtract. Whenever I see distance, I remember to subtract. And once I kind of work with this long enough, eventually everything kind of starts to stick together. So now you've seen the words, let's go to the examples again. Pay attention to the order in my answers because this is important. The order that they give you the parts is the order that they typically want you to write the parts, and 99% of the time you're going to write it in the same order. So if you have a number h plus 11, first off, I'm going to put a box around the operation words. So plus is what I'm looking at. Then I'm going to underline the parts. So you have a number h and 11. So h plus 11. Again, you're going to add. H is first, 11 is second. It's simply h plus 11. So as long as you remember that H means add, which I hope that you copy those words, and if you didn't, rewind it, pause it, and write those words down. But H plus 11 is what it's going to be. The difference, again, key word here is difference of 8 and a number n. I remember that difference means subtract, so I can think subtraction. But look at the order, 8 and a number n, which means I want to use 8 first because 8 is stated first, and n second because n is what's stated second. That's really all that matters in the order. Again, H was first, so H went first, 11 was second, 11 went second. 8 was first, n was second, that's what it is. The sum of 11 and a number k, so the real hard part is just, again, making sure you know it. Sum means add. So sum of 11 and a number k, which means 11 should go first and k should go second, and that is all. All right. 4 minus a number g, minus being the word, 4 a number g, again, minus meaning subtract. 4 being first goes here, g going second goes there. 4 minus g is your answer there. Again, minus not equal to, but yes, 4 minus g is your answer there. Now, less than, if you look at your notes, and more than have a asterisk or a star by them. The way I think about it is every other word has one word on it, which means that less than and more than have to be special to me. Less than means subtract, I get it, but the trick about less than is that whenever you see less than, you actually want to switch the order around. So what happens is, even though 9 is first, less than says switch the order around, so 9 should go last. Even though j is second, the order is switched, so j has to go first. And these are the two words you have to look out for the most. Less than means flip it. More than means flip it. So again, 2 more than a number h means that what we have to do is recognize that it is addition. But again, it means switch the operations around. So 2 more than a number h means what we're looking at here is 2 should be in the back and h should be in the front. So that is the only adjustment that you really have. So your key job here is to memorize plus, difference, sum, minus, less than, more than, which isn't a lot of work. Just use your notes as you're working and try to make sure you're working to actually get it understood. I think as long as you do that, you should be okay. So, excuse me. Today, this is the expectation pretty much for today. Just make sure you practice recognizing the operation. Slow down. Notice what order the term should be in. Again, make sure you also use the proper letter. If they say a variable k or a number k, make sure you use a k, not an x. But as always, if there are questions or concerns, please, it doesn't say email, this was when I was remote, but please let me know. Please raise your hand, or if you're working at home, email so I can help you through it. But outside of that, good luck. I'll talk to you later.